Good day, everybody. Welcome, to the AXA Career Virtual Fair 2021. My name is Poh Teck. I am the head of agency for the AXA Life distribution channel. As everybody knows, that the COVID-19, in the 2020, has taken, a very deep hit on the industry, and people are quite apprehensive, of what is going to happen, later, in 2021. Now, the whole idea of this virtual career fair is to introduce to you the fact that the financial sector, over the last 12 months has been actually, doing pretty well. We have numbers, and I think you have also seen, from various reports, the financial sector, namely the banking industry and also the insurance industry, has been doing fairly, above, the well-to-do performance mark. And I believe, that going forward, when the Singapore economy over in 2021 is projected to do well, we are pretty optimistic, that the insurance industry will continue to do well, in the year 2021 going forward and beyond that. So let me just go through very quickly, with you, on what we have for you, today. Today, generally, I'd like to share with you what would be the vision, that we have, in AXA. The strategic vision here is to act for human purpose and basically to protect what matters most. What is most important to you, basically, is to your loved ones, and to probably, some of the financial goals that you have. We basically want to look at that to protect, that to a very large extent. And also, what is our vision, for 2023? Our vision for 2023 is really to go out there to protect at least 1 million Singaporeans, by the end of 2023. The life agency vision, it's a little bit different, from the company vision, but actually it do go hand in hand together. It is very much pertaining to your life, our purpose. What we are trying to look into here is that your life here is what is matter most to you. But our purpose here is to look into what is the best solution that we can provide for you and your family throughout your life stages in life. So the agency vision, the life agency vision in 2020 to 2025, basically being anchored, into three very major pillars, or you can call it three main growth area. The number one vision that we have in agency for the next 5 years is to be the top 5 ranking, in the industry, to have 15%, of our producer that is of MDRT qualifiers, and at least to grow the agency force, to a strong of 1,500 in terms of manpower. As you can see from this chart here, it tells you quite clearly that today in the agency force, the customers are very satisfied, with the experience that we have dealing, with their dealing with their reps, or in this case here, we call them financial planners. And as you can see, the tracking, of the customer experience over the last 1 year, from January to September, has actually grown by a positive of 33.7%. Now, going forward, I believe that this score will continue, to go up. That is because, our agency force today are a lot more mature. You will realize, that when you join this agency force, in AXA, you will go through, many sort of basic training they will provide for you. And this training basically, are being enhanced, into different areas. We will have trainings, for people who just join us. We will also have trainings for people who are with us, beyond 1 year to 3 years, and 3 years and above. What we plan to do going forward is that in this training, we will want to equip you also with certification. So that with this certification, it basically gives you more basis, whereby whatever that you learn, can be probably, can be shown, to your customers, that you have been receiving quality training, from your company, and this basically will put into the perspective at the end of the day, when you do your marketing, when you do your pitching, of product and services to the customer, they know that they are in good hands. Okay. In 2020 to 2021, we are looking into a few transformation, and this transformation, I would say, is key, to the growth, of the agency force, and it's key, to your career, should you so decide to join us. As you can see, on the left-hand side, in 2020, we have a digital payment that basically a company now is encouraging, people to go green. We are not looking into so much, into physical posts, but we are actually moving a lot more, into email, and it makes sense because in today's context, a lot of people are having email and they are communicating via electronic channel rather than just having hard physical posts. And we have telemedicine services that we have in 2020 that we are giving actually, to your customer as a form of leads generation, knowing that in 2020, when we were hit by COVID-19, things, like doing seminars, doing roadshows, are no longer possible. Companies are finding new ways, to give you back more business in the form of leads. And in this business, if you have a warm market, it is ideal. But if you do not have, what we are trying to do here is to help you to have a head start in the business. And the next one is webinar. Because physical seminar, becomes a lot more difficult today. We are actually a lot into webinar. Over the last 6 months, I personally have seen we have do at least between 10 to 12 webinar, on a per month basis. This webinar comes in many forms. It can be a webinar that we actually host together, with the fund managers to talk about the market outlook. And a lot of clients like this is because when the market is actually going up and down, they are not sure whether what they can do with their money. But with this webinar, and the explanation from the fund manager, it gives them a bit more confidence where they should actually invest their money. Number two is that we also have webinar, with renowned doctors, to talk about things like critical illnesses, how this, will just impact you, if someone are hit, with a disease that they don't foresee coming, how it will impact their financial and their family, and all this webinar comes very helpful, to your client, to give them some knowledge base. And a lot of our current advisor like this very much because it gives them good reason to do follow-up, at the same time, cross-sell them, certain solution, if they need it. And so this is also, another way, that we help you to generate leads. Number 4, I would say AXA One is our state-of-the-art sales management tool, whereby in this, basically in AXA One, what you can actually get out of it, is not just monitoring, your sales, monitoring, your production, but at the same time, be able, to look into another form whereby, again, helping you, to do business. We have a block link generator, whereby basically, you can use this to send several blogs, that is written, by the company and to your customer base, and then if the customer is keen, this can become a form of leads generation. The other one, it's basically a company looks into other ways whereby we actually send periodic updates, to your existing customer base, and if they are keen, they can also come and look for you. And this forms also another reason, another way to generate, more leads. In AXA One, we also have a leads management system, whereby once all the leads are put in there, and we start to look into the end-to-end process, from talking to a client, pitching to the client, and closing the deal, we are able to come up, with a more scientific process, on how we can then further take this base of leads to do cross-sell, and upsell to your customer base. And last but not least, is Aura. Just to share with you also, this is something that just came out, in the late of October, that this basically gives instant medical underwriting, to simple cases, whereby once you put those into the Aura system, you can know on the spot whether the case can be accepted or rejected. Okay, so these are all some of the scientific, these are all some of the digital tools, that AXA has put in your hand, in 2020. In 2020, we made a very big commitment. It's a leap, into the past business model that we have, because in the past a lot were done on face-to-face, physical hard copy, but today a lot were more done, on digital. In 2021, we continue to want to enhance this digital base by having policy servicing, automation. So when you service the customer after they came on board, policy servicing becomes very important. This will be automated. Basically, in terms of getting more business, from your customer more effectively, we are looking into Effect Find to enhance your learning. We are going into e-learning, and also eventually we are also looking into how we can do e-recruitment. My info, it's really it's the government initiative for promoting some of the data initiative today. Is basically able to do data collection via My Info, because in the My Info portal, once we match the data, the customer, you do not need to basically key in a lot of information, into the system. It gets self-populated. And last but not least, again, back to AXA One, which is a one solution tool, for our financial planner. And this is a system that you should continue to go into, and we're going to enhance claim management going forward, so that when the customer makes a claim through you, and you put into the system, you can administer very quickly, and we can actually give out the claim to the customer, because they need it to clear hospital bills, or certain liabilities, and we understand they need this quickly, and this claim management system will come in very handy. Last but not least, before I go into the final presentation, I just also want to take the opportunity here to say a couple of things which were not in the previous slide that I have. Is, should you decide to consider to join the financial industry, i.e. insurance, i.e. AXA, there's one of the things that I really would want you to take note, is that uniquely, AXA is quite different, from the rest, of the competitors. We have a career benefit for our financial planner, and when you join us and you do decide to make this as a long-term career, the career benefit will take you a long way until you reach the age of 55. That means towards the age of retirement. Okay, so when you retire with us after working long enough, in a company as a financial planner, there is a lump sum that goes towards your nest egg of retirement. So with that, we want you to retire better. We want you, to know that we want to take care of you over long term, and hence, this career benefit is there to take care, of your retirement over the longer term period. Okay. So number two here is also important. Is there is a diversified range, of products, that we have, in AXA, that allows you, to market this, to your customer, because we want you to be able to look at it from the perspective that you are selling this to your customer at their needs. Okay, and not just AXA product, we also have a library, of third-party product that we have. So we work closely with a certain very strategic third-party partners, and these third-party products are also in our platform, that you can also make use of that as an alternative, to share with your customer during, the course of solution presentation, is to give them a diversified range, of options, for them, to consider. And last but not least is, we understand that, if you make the choice, to join, AXA, be it whether you're a fresh graduate or you're looking at, from a mid-career switch perspective, we have very relevant financial packages, that will be suitable for you. These financial packages will range, from a sum, that ranges, from low, medium, to higher level, whereby, you can choose based on your experience. Of course, all these financial packages, are also up for the discretion, for company to also decide, on what sort of position are you taking, what is your past relevant experience and your past remuneration, before, we can decide, what package, is there that is suitable for you. So in this case here, just to summarize, is we do have a career benefit for you. We do have, systems, that we are having to enhance, your sales capability. One of the most important thing is that we are able, to generate leads for you, which is today very important because leads is the source of your business. Number three, financial packages, so that when you come and join us, you're not overly concerned, of what's going to happen, to your pay package, because you are no longer working in that industry or you're just joining us, as a fresh graduate. Okay. And number four is that a diversified range of product, that we have available in our platform that is allowing you, to market this, to the customers based on their needs. Okay. And last but not least is the continued enhancement that we have, in AXA to enhance our digital capability at the same time, our training capability, so that going forward we continue, to upskill you with new knowledge, so that you are able, to see and talk to customer with basically, giving them the best choice, and the best intent, that you have is to find the right solution for them. And finally, I just want to leave everybody, with this parting word. The act for human progress by protecting what matters is key to this business. The business here is not so much, of how much income that you want to bring home. How much income you want to bring home is actually a secondary. The most important is caring, for your customers. That is key, because once you start to care for your customer, you will know that the rest of the benefit that you look forward to will all come along together, when you care for them with your heart. Thanks very much, and I hope everybody, have a great time, visiting the virtual fair, and I hope that we'll be able to see you in AXA very soon. Thank you, and have a nice day.